Today's American Story with Bob Dotson focuses on three people looking for work, love, and a connection to the past. And they found it all thanks to a little ferry.
Sometimes the river of life sweeps away our dreams. Ashley Pillar wants to fly airplanes, but was set adrift when the airline stopped hiring. He found a job piloting something unique. The last state-run ferry in America, powered by a pole. It stitches across the James River south of Scottsville, Virginia. This is how we first muscled across the country when water blocked our way, stringing barges to cables and then cranking them into the current.
The water will hit the side of the ferry, acting as a sail, propelling you in the opposite direction.
Just as life sometimes does.
Why do you still do this after 8 years?
Look around you. I mean, it's the best office in the world.
With the kind of view that makes us all homesick for places we have never been.
Yeah, she's stuck.
The Hatton Ferry has hit a rough spot.
This is written in the job description.
Virginia's Department of Transportation is abandoning this bit of our history.
It only cost $21,000 to save the ferry.
Well, when we're looking at a $3.5 billion budget shortfall, we have to find any bit of money that we can.
That's ridiculous.
History is more precious to Frank Tapscott. Nearing 90, he has more of it.
This is my grandfather.
He owned the pole ferry when Frank was a boy. There were thousands across the country back then. Now,
It's the only one to save. Is anything any more important than that?
Before the ferry floated into that yellowing scrapbook of history, county officials found enough money to keep it afloat through October the 1st. Vowed it would be a one-time bailout because they didn't want to run it either. The local historical society couldn't afford the liability insurance. So the fate of this little ferry depends on folks who cherish the things that connect us.
Oh my gosh, that looks great.
Tom Freeman and Stephanie Kellogg want to get married on that romantic relic.
From our old life to our new life on the little ferry.
Even though Tom just lost his
That's
job.
beautiful.
Well, thank you. It's comfortable.
Wow.
His tailor understands. That's Ashley
Give you better
at his second job.
Are you a polka dot person?
Stephanie, a nurse, decided to tie the knot anyway.
That one was
Do you
very
want the
good.
ladybug? Or
She chose the wedding cupcakes and set the date. In this world racing full tilt toward tomorrow, they counted on the Hatton Ferry being there, just as it has been since the 1870s.
Why is the past important to you?
Because that's what has made this future.
Here we go.
It's in my heart.
A bright day in a tight time, but they are hopeful. The dreams they spin will not be swept away.
What could go wrong at that wedding on a ferry that's held by a cable in the middle of the river?
Well, if the cable snapped, I suppose we could end up in Richmond for our honeymoon.
That's where Tom starts a new engineering job after the wedding. So, two things to celebrate this day. Oh, and one more.
Sir, you may kiss the bride.
Stephanie became the ferry's godmother. She asked their friends not to give wedding gifts, but to donate to this tiny bit of what we once were. There is now enough to keep the Hatton Ferry afloat for a few more months. For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, with an American story on the James River in Virginia.
Up next, Harry Connick Jr. performs live in Studio 1A. But first, this is Today on NBC.